United States of America. Many here are positive she will be up to the task.
We need somebody who will bring in a non-partisan perspective, who can now bring together the two, superpowers and say, look, hey, you guys need to come together and see the world is not just you and you. It's about other people. And I represent the well-being of the world. So let's get together and see how we can do to work across together in terms of, getting synergy on the pandemic, getting synergy on the public finances, getting synergy on the world trade itself, so that we can all have a better world. So we couldn't have wished for a better personality at this critical time, heading the WTO, than Okonjo-Iweala.
Okonjo-Iweala will be coming on board at a time when the Africa Continental Free Trade Area is effectively in place, removing trade barriers among African countries. Now, many will be waiting to see how the WTO approaches the initiative and help to make it work for the good of the continent.
On a latest update on Ngoji's nominations, he has been confirmed as the leader of the WTO. A big congratulations to Ngoji. Now we'll go with a short commercial break. More to come. Stay tuned.
The pride we take in our brand, the work we put into constantly change the landscape and elevate real estate in the Gambia, it's compared to none. From inception, our goal was to add value to the beautiful Gambian landscape. That's why we are proud innovators of community estates. Kololi Sands is an exceptional piece of work, tailored for ultimate convenience and luxury, to bring you an element of finesse that is rare but unique in its own. This is also our pride and joy, and we welcome you to the exquisite beauty right here in Kololi and right here on the waterfront. Kololi Sands, feel the ocean breeze at your doorstep.
If you're just tuning in, this is the World News Bulletin, and to the rest of our story. The COVID-19 pressure on health facilities is beginning to ease in South Africa as authorities prepare to vaccinate healthcare workers. South Africa is the hardest hit country in the continent, and the country's medical workers are among the most affected group. Despite the halt of the AstraZeneca vaccine rollout, there is still hope for more vaccines, according to its authorities.
Some calm has returned to Johannesburg's Charlotte Maxeke Hospital. Just weeks ago, these corridors were teeming with COVID-19 patients as frontline workers battled to contain an aggressive second wave.
The situation was dire. We would have casualties completely packed, people being ventilated in a casualty, which is not how it's supposed to work because the ICU is packed. Outside, there's a long queue of ambulances, there's a long queue of family members who are bringing patients to get help. It was really scary. There are incidences whereby people would pass away in vehicles while waiting to be assisted.
Over 1,000 medical workers at this facility alone have been infected, and a few have succumbed to the virus. The halt of AstraZeneca vaccine rollout dealt a further blow, but the facility remains positive the wait will soon be over.
We're not losing hope. We're still going ahead with our plans to prepare facilities and prepare for vaccinations. Vaccines definitely coming from one of the other companies, most likely, and as soon as it's here, we'll revive the program and definitely start vaccinating our healthcare workers.
South Africa is expecting 20 million Pfizer doses soon and is working with countries like China and Russia to procure more vaccines. The hopes are being pinned on the Johnson & Johnson's jab to kick off its vaccination program.
The Department of Health will continue its planned phase 1 vaccination, targeting the health workers using the Johnson & Johnson vaccine instead of the AstraZeneca vaccine. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine has been proven effective against the 501Y.V2 variant, and the necessary approval processes for use in South Africa are underway.
It's got quite a lot of advantages, one being that it's a single dose as opposed to what we would have had to have a 2-dose schedule for the vaccine. And there is some capacity for South Africa to actually produce it or manufacture this particular vaccine ourselves.
Fatigue and low morale are creeping in among frontline workers. They've worked tirelessly since the first case was treated a year ago and are desperate for some form of relief from the coronavirus onslaught.
South Africa prepares to vaccinate more of its healthcare workers despite a halt in the AstraZeneca vaccine. Now, in Kenya, as people are advised to stay at home in order to limit the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic, many Kenyans are out to do outdoor activities to keep themselves healthy and fit. Many others also participate in the adventure sports to make fun, as many people, including young women, are getting attracted to the popular outdoor activities in Kenya.
For years, hiking and mountain climbing have been the go-to recreational activity for those who see themselves as outdoor maniacs. However, after a year that was mostly spent cramped indoors, people are now more than ever focused on becoming one with nature.
The hiking kind of outdoor revolution had already started, but I think when people got closed up in their houses and contained the houses, I think there was that kind of raised consciousness that we needed to be out there, because most of the people are just staying in the house. You go to the bathroom, you come back to the seat, more Zoom calls, there's no movement. You realize how important the outdoor is. So it kind of gave that outdoor revolution some impetus.
And true to the hype, the numbers of those taking part in what is now being referred to as adventure sports has grown significantly.
Actually, once you start getting into it, that's when you realize how many people are hiking, how many people are running, how many people are biking, and how much more they're enjoying their lives and their weekends as compared to before COVID. So it's that silver lining that they talk about.
For hikers and mountaineering enthusiasts like this group, who tackled a grueling 17-kilometer hike, one thing seems to stand out: health.
For me, basically, it's just wellness, keeping fit. Of course, I want to tone. Yeah, and just being fit, the way they say the soul, the mind, and the heart.
I'm looking for something that is healthy, that I can do with friends, a hobby that, benefits my body as well. And after COVID, staying at home, working from home, you gain a lot of weight, you become unfit and unhealthy. So I think this is a healthy habit that, can become part of my lifestyle as well.
As for me, I was doing the gym and got to a point that the gyms are closed, so I had to stay at home, do the walking. At times when you do it alone, you feel kind of uncomfortable, or you find you're not pushing yourself to the limit where you need to be.
The growth has inspired guides like Wandai, who is planning to organize more diverse activities, all in the hope of getting even more people to the outdoors.
We are still including more and more activities for the outdoors. For example, rock climbing is an old sport, but it has not really picked up in Kenya. So we are looking to go also to that side. That would also encourage people to take up big mountaineering projects. And that's, as Hike Maniac, we are looking to bring in people and accommodate people to come out here and enjoy what Kenya, because Kenya is really beautiful with different features, the mountain features. It's really amazing to explore every bit.
Even as things start to look up with vaccines for COVID-19 being rolled out, adventure sports seems to be growing by the day as more people seek the outdoors.
Well, viewers, with that brings this edition of the World Today News Bulletin with me, Sohna Tunkara. We'll be back with more national news bulletin on Gambia 24 at 19:30 GMT. Until then, bye for now.
Ni ibe bunda le nyini kang mararola fannato management andong hani bunda killing ima soto